The Bengals offseason program is over with mandatory minicamp wrapping up this week. It's time to dive into some takeaways from Joe Burrow, the state of the offense, a defensive back room that, well, is evolving, but we have some details about how it could shake out. Let's get into all of that and much, much more right now on CBT. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join the 44,000 plus that subscribe to CBT. Hopefully you checked out all of our videos this week already from Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow, Enter the Jungle every Tuesday at 8 Eastern with Andrew Fox Miller and myself, and much, much more. Also ring the bell so you get notified anytime there's breaking news, like when Ted Karras agrees to a one-year extension. Plenty of thoughts on that from Thursday, including my instant reaction. You hear from Ted, also Zach Taylor as well on Thursday. But let's get into takeaways from mandatory minicamp, because the Bengals, well, they broke minicamp. They ended their offseason program this week, and that means that they're essentially dark. Players can go do whatever they want, but Paycor Stadium will be dark before training camp over the next 6 weeks. Now, players will still be there. At least some will. Whether they're rehabbing, training, things like that. But a lot of them leave town, they go home, they train on their own. And let's dive into some takeaways, because the first one was something that stands out to me, at least, was what Joe Burrow said this week about the eye candy that the Bengals are hoping to give opposing defenses. And I'm pulling up the exact quote right now. But he said, quote, "With the personnel we have this year, we'll be able to do a lot more with personnel groupings, putting different people in different spots and doing a lot of different things as far as eye candy and making teams adjust their personnel based on ours." And I think it's a really good point. It's interesting for a variety of reasons. The first of which is pretty simple. When you lose a Joe Mixon and you lose a Tyler Boyd, you wonder, because they were here for 7 and 8 years respectively, you wonder how the Bengals are going to fill those roles. And I think it's going to be by committee, specifically on in the running back room. I think it's going to be Zach Moss and Chase Brown, 50-50 split, a legitimate committee. Now, one of those guys isn't going to get 75% of the snaps. One isn't getting 25 or 70-30 or 64. I think it'll be really close to 50-50. And then as far as replacing Boyd goes, I don't think they did replace Boyd. I think it's more of a by committee approach where you're going to see a Mike Gesicki, you're going to see Trenton Irwin, you're going to see Charlie Jones, you're going to see the rookie and Jermaine Burton all get mixed in there. And I didn't say Andre Yosavash yet, because I think it's really interesting. He to me would be, if there were winners and losers of the offseason program, he would be a winner. And he would be a winner because he came back bigger, stronger. I think he impressed his teammates just talking with some guys in the locker room. And so think of a goal line package that has Mike Gesicki and Andre Yosavash, that has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You're talking about 4 big, physical guys that can win at the catch point, guys that can out-muscle in tight windows and certainly can go up and get it if you want them to. That is a weapon in and of itself. So Andre Yosavash is certainly in the mix here for playing time, because they could just kick Jamar Chase inside and play him in the slot. And so they are multiple. They have a bunch of different guys that do a lot of things well. And, you know, I mentioned Mike Gesicki, but we know what Drew Sample and what Tanner Hudson bring as well. And so they have guys like that. Tanner McLaughlin, by the way, making his way back and getting some on-field reps. We'll see how he fits, but Eric All as well, working his way back from an ACL. We'll see on those guys, those injured guys. But the eye candy element that Joe Burrow mentioned, it lines up with kind of what I think we thought this year would be and what it could look like on offense. Other notes, safety room. I think Von Bell is clearly ahead of Jordan Battle right now at safety. Well, what I think is interesting is I'm not sure the Bengals went into this offseason thinking they were going to get 2 starting safeties. And Von Bell kind of falls into their lap. And Geno Stone is obviously their big get. They get him, bring him in. And then Von Bell, a few days later, they get him on a great value deal. And I think he is ahead, substantially ahead right now of Jordan Battle and the rest of the safeties for that starting job. Could Battle win that job? I'm not going to rule it out. You never say never. But I do think it's an uphill climb right now. And so if I had to predict the safety room, I would say Geno Stone, Von Bell starters. Behind them, Tyson Anderson, as he makes his way back from an ACL. I think he'll be the backup free safety with Geno Stone, and Jordan Battle will be the backup safety behind Von Bell in that strong safety spot. Now, could that change? Absolutely, it could change, but that is how I look at it right now. Other things that stood out, Dax Hill certainly getting his shot to start at outside corner. We'll see if he can do it. We'll see if he can make it work. But something I'm monitoring, he had some nice pass breakups this week, as did DJ Turner II. Will the Bengals add a corner? I think that could be interesting. So far, they haven't as of this recording. If they do, we'll have you covered. And then will they add a running back? I think those are the two spots I would be looking at the closest, with like a guy like Jerick McKinnon. Did a video on Dalvin Cook last week, so we'll see. But overall, I think whether you look at like the Trent Browns, the Amarius Mims, all these trench guys, they look the part. And it's really hard to have more takeaways than that from minicamp. You're not wearing pads. You're not getting a lot of physical contact, all of those things. But Chris Jenkins, McKinley Jackson, obviously Sheldon Rankins, a big free agent signing. All these guys look the part. And so we will see more on them as we get closer to camp. But overall, I think it was a successful camp. Joe Burrow being cautious, as he should be. Joe Burrow doing plenty, at the same time not pushing it. I think that makes a ton of sense. And we're going to have a ton of thoughts, whether it's Joe Burrow, whether it's on this offense and the evolution, the defense moving forward, right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Don't go anywhere. The offseason is officially in full swing. Doesn't matter. We have you covered right here on CBT. So for Andrew Fox-Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing to Cincinnati Bengals Talk.